Hello everyone, this is Revathi working as an assistant professor in information technology from SNS College of Engineering. In my today lecture series, we are going to see about a stable marriage problem using iterative method in the design and analysis of the algorithm. Then the definition of the stable marriage problem is consider a set of y is equal to, that means a set of means m1, m2 up to mn of n men, and a set of x is equal to w1, w2 up to wn of n women. Each man has a preference list ordering the woman as potential marriage partners with no ties allowed. Similarly, each woman has a preference list of the men also with no ties. Here we will see the example for clearing the definition of stable marriage problem. Here there are two tables will be given. One is for the men's preference and another one is for the women's preference. And first step, you have to construct ranking matrix depending upon the men's preference and also with the women's preference. Here the table shown as men's preference table and women's preference tables and also the ranking matrix table. Here the men's are Bob, Jim and Tom. The list of women preference will be given as Leah, Anne and Sue. Then women's preference as Anne, Lee, Sue, and the list of men's preference also given in the table. Depending upon this preference, we have to construct ranking matrix for the given men's and women's preference table. Here the Bob second preference is Anne, that is denoted as 2, and Anne we have to know we have to see the Anne preference to Bob, that is third preference. Then second one is Bob preference to Leah, have to see here 1. Then Leah preference to Bob is also have to see in the table, that is 2. Then Bob preference to Sue is 3 and Sue preference to Bob is 3. Then Jim preference to Anne is 3 and Anne first preference to Jim is 1. Then Jim first preference to Leah. Then Leah gives third preference to Jim. Then Jim gives second preference to Sue. Then Sue gives first preference to Jim. Then Tom gives third preference to Anne and Anne gives second preference to Tom. Then Tom gives second preference to Leah. Then Leah gives first preference to Tom. Then Tom gives first preference to Sue. Then Sue gives second preference to Tom. Likewise, we have to construct ranking matrix for the given men's and women's preference table. Here, then the second step will be first three men are Bob, Jim and Tom. First, Bob proposed to Leah because first preference of Bob is Leah. Then Leah is now free, so she accepted Bob proposals. Then the second free men is Jim and Tom. Then Jim see his first preference for proposal. Jim first preference is Leah. Then Leah is already engaged with Bob. Then Leah have to see his preference to Bob and Jim. Leah's second preference gives second preference to Bob, but the third preference to the Jim. So Leah accepted Bob and now Leah rejected Jim's proposal. Then Jim will search for the another preference. His another preference is shoe. Jim proposed to shoe. She accepted his proposal because she is free now. Then third free man is Tom. Tom first preference is shoe. So Tom proposed to shoe, but shoe is already engaged with Jim. So she needs to see her preference. Her first preference is Jim, but the second preference is Tom. So now she rejected Tom's proposal, already committed with Jim. So Tom now search for his another preference. Another preference is Leah. So now Tom proposed to Leah, but Leah is already committed with Bob. In this situation, Leah have to see her preference to Bob and Tom. Leah's second preference is Bob, but the first preference is Tom. So now Leah accepted Tom proposal, then rejected Bob proposal. Now the Bob is free, so he search for his another preference. His another second preference is Anne. Then Bob proposed to Anne. Anne now accepted Bob proposal because now Anne is free, so accepted his proposal. Now Bob is committed with Anne, then Jim is committed with the shoe, then Tom is committed with Leah. Thank you.